How's it going, everyone? We're back with another episode of the FireStorm podcast. What? Not Honey Pop this week? No, not Honey Pop this week. We're doing another podcast
we know
episode.
You all love it.
Yeah, we know that you have been heavily enjoying that series, but no, we are back with another podcast.
We know you're heavily
episode.
invested and you care about all 12 of the girls in that game, but sorry.
Yeah.
Like, we have shit to do. You know, we've fucking schedule to keep up, you know?
I know. Like, I wrote out an entire fucking schedule on our document, and I was just
but
like,
don't
wow,
worry.
We've got shit planned till June.
We're gonna talk about oiled up shirtless guys, but we'll get back to don't worry, we'll get back to titties sometime.
Real soon. Don't worry. It'll be soon. So, yes, we are here to talk about one of our other fascinations and hobbies in this world, wrestling. We, last year did, predictions and all that for the Royal Rumble and for WrestleMania. We were going to do the same this year, but we kind of we kind of just didn't give a shit about the Royal Rumble, and, But WrestleMania this year...
Edge won, that's cool.
That is pretty poggers. Edge did pull out the W on that one, and so did Bianca Belaire, which was awesome. So that was great to see.
I think I more expected that one.
Definitely.
Edge kind of surprised me. I thought it would be like Daniel Bryan or someone like that.
Well, he's getting in the big matches anyway, D-Bryan. So
true that.
He's getting in there anyway. But, yeah, there's my dog. Anyway... So, we're here with WrestleMania 37. It is, again, pirate-themed because... I know, Jesus. It is, again, pirate-themed like last year because I think they decided, you know what, fuck it. We're at the same stadium. We want to actually use the pirate ship, so we're just going to do it again.
Yes, exactly, dude. If I don't get that fucking pirate ship, if I don't get Drew, sailing in on the pirate ship, I'm gonna be so mad.
Alright, yes, so they're reusing the whole pirate theme from last year, and it's just what do we do different? I don't know, we'll add a second sword to the logo, it's fine. It works.
Second Pirate 1.
Pirate 2. But, yes.
Electric Boogaloo.
Pirate 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yes.
Great.
And, they've got a lot of the heavy hitters this year, and they've got some fucking celebrity appearances as well. And
fucking Bad Bunny, bro. What the hell?
Bad Bunny. And as well,
I never even heard of that guy before he was on a show the other those few weeks ago. Apparently he's one of the biggest hip hop artists in the world right now, and I'm I've never heard of this guy.
He's one of the biggest Latin artists.
Well, he does his songs are all in Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what any of this means, bro. Sorry.
So, yes, let's get on with... we're just going to do some predicting. I was going to do some, fantasy booking, but then Fastlane happened and kind of fucking threw a spanner in the works, and I was just like, no, fuck it, let's just do predictions instead. Because I kind of wanted to... I normally like to, kind of fantasy book the situation, what's going to happen, but they've kind of had to rush and just throw in what they've wanted to do. Initially I had this idea of maybe Mustafa Ali could win the US title and Retribution could go on a rampage, but no, Retribution broke up. There you go.
Yep.
So long, gang of men throwing fucking Molotov cocktails at the WWE building.
Yeah.
It's
hopefully their Twitter game doesn't change too much, though.
We'll see. They're rather amusing on Twitter, but we'll see what happens. And then I had this idea of because everyone's wanting Cesaro to finally. He's been proving himself a lot more as of late, and he's been kicking Seth Rollins' ass. And they had this idea of a giant tournament to try and get someone into the Roman Reigns match, and so Cesaro would have won. But then no, they just said Daniel Bryan. It's just okay, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I understand that one at least.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Well, I'll talk more about that match when we get there, but man, that might have been a really smart move.
It might have been. Do you have the Wikipedia or the website pulled up?
Uh-huh.
Which one do you
I can see all the matches. I have Wikipedia.
Yep, same, because it actually has night 1 and night 2 cards, so that's good. I don't imagine them changing much with the next week or two. Maybe some extra matches, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But we have found out that 2 matches have been bumped to the SmackDown before WrestleMania. That
great.
They're kind of like promoting as a WrestleMania caliber SmackDown. Like I think they're just painting the logo of WrestleMania blue and saying it's SmackDown. So yeah.
Wow.
I know those 2 matches are Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which I know, and they actually release like a roster list of who's in it. Like it's all the members of like the former Retribution, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, Tucker, Shinsuke Nakamura, which is heavily disappointing.
Aww.
Yeah, and a couple others. So yeah, that's. I don't care who wins that. There's not really any benefit to winning it anymore. There never really was. So that doesn't matter. The other one was
just for the sake of it, Shinsuke better win.
I hope someone like Shinsuke or someone else worthy wins it. Like I don't know who.
Yeah.
Out of that pool,
someone who actually like is good.
Yeah. Out of that.
I mean, maybe you can make someone bad win it. Maybe they'll actually get a bump from it, but probably not.
I think King Corbin's in it, so he might win it. Who knows? So.
Oh boy, everyone's favorite man.
Everyone's favorite man. I don't know, you haven't been keeping up with a lot of wrestling recently, but did you hear what they did with the Hurt Business?
They broke him up, right?
They broke up the Hurt Business
That's unbelievable.
Just to make Baron Corbin Bobby Lashley's, like, helper guy. At the start of the show, they broke up the Hurt Business, and at the end of the show, Baron Corbin came in from SmackDown to Raw and helped Bobby Lashley beat up Drew McIntyre.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
The Hurt Business was so good.
Yes, see,
like,
I think
even just from what little I've seen, like they were actually interesting. Like their faction like made sense.
I think the reason being is because like
bald men,
when they were up against like Retribution and all that, they were getting cheered. And I think because everyone's actually behind the Hurt Business and they want Drew to look like the face, they're purposely making the Hurt Business worse by adding Baron Corbin to it so they get booed.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
Hey. Shit.
It's incredibly disappointing, but yeah. The other match.
I mean, that's like the Undisputed Era, right? Like, cause there was some matches between Johnny and Adam Cole that were really split. I mean, NXT is a different beast, but like I get what they're going for, right? Like I get why they were trying to make it so that Drew was the obvious face because he really does deserve his moment with the crowd winning the championship. Mm-hmm. But like I don't know why they had to do all of that, Like
no,
I don't feel like anyone was turning against Drew. I think it was more like, hey, the Hurt Business is actually a good faction. Wow, a good heel faction.
I know, and that's the dumb thing. If a heel faction's that good, they'll start getting cheered. And it's just like it's just the weird, the bizarre nature of wrestling. It's
just our generation is just stupid.
I don't know. It's not easy.
We like what we're not supposed to, and
like. There's only such a rare few bad guys that you actually hate, like Corbin and Miz and all that. Like, those are the only few they can actually properly hate. And while everyone else is just like, you're bad, but you're also entertaining, so I will cheer.
Right.
Or you're bad, but we know you're a workhorse, so we will cheer you. Like Bobby Lashley, he's been working up so long just to get this title match. But you're right, NXT is an entirely different beast. Like, I still remember that fucking, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, when Adam Cole went in being cheered, but then Johnny was able to get the crowd to cheer him by the end when he won the title.
Yeah.
That's fucking poggers. But, yes, anyway, back to the original subject. The other match that's going to be on SmackDown, that's meant to be on WrestleMania, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Which, wow, those titles have become so irrelevant. But, the Dirty Dogs...
I forgot they weren't there. I forgot they weren't on the card.
I know. the Dirty Dogs of Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode defending against, I believe, the Street Profits.
Wow, they're the champs in 2021? Holy crap.
I know. The Street Profits, Dominic and Rey Mysterio, and another team which I can't be bothered to remember. Fuck. Who's another team on SmackDown? I don't know,
dude.
But
man, I got no idea.
Neither, but that's kind of what's happening.
I kind of hope Rey and Dominic win.
I want to see that. I want to see father and son actually hold the titles. I feel like
I know Rey. Cool. I mean, Rey's kind of getting close to being off the deep end. I mean, he still moves great. Obviously, he man's like 44 and is still agile as hell.
Yeah. It's Otis and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
That's the other
Otis
team,
and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that run with Dominic, because, Dominic, he may be pretty young, like, he's like 23, 24, but man, he, if he sticks with it, I bet he's got a bright future, in the wrestling business, where even if he, if he stays in WWE, if he moves somewhere else, like, the kid's got a bright future, right? And, I think this would be a cool way to, like, kind of get his career jump started, as well as, like, give Rey a cool thing towards the end of his career, like a run as tag champs with his son.
Yes.
Like that might be cool.
Definitely.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I found the page on WWE.com because of like WrestleMania happening on 2 nights and Friday Night SmackDown happening the night literally just before the first one. They're like, oh, WrestleMania caliber SmackDown. But it's just the tag team match and the Battle Royal. Yeah, the combatants. Just because, why not? Let's waste some time. Kira Tozawa, Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias Eric, Grand Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, Jackson Riker, pedophile, not dickhead, fucking
racist,
something
like that.
I know. Jey Uso, Kalisto, King Corbin, Lindsay Dorado, Mace, Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin.
Poor Ricochet.
I know, poor Ricochet. Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Tucker. Those are the combatants.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I still believe in Shinsuke Nakamura or Ricochet.
Ricochet could win.
This has been happening, I think, literally for years, where everyone's just
You know what? Like, Ricochet came onto the main roster way too soon.
Yeah.
Like, he deserved a run as NXT champ or something. You know? Literally, that man is so talented.
He is phenomenal. And
like, what he needed was NXT's more wrestling based. That's Ricochet's strength. Ricochet should have taken more time in NXT to practice his promo work, because I feel like if he was stronger with promos, because he's really not, like, he's not great on the microphone, which, is normally more than made up for with his in-ring ability, but he's not charismatic. He's not naturally charismatic enough to do really well on the main roster. And I think, that's can be very heavily contrasted with someone like Adam Cole, who's probably on his way up after his match with Kyle O'Reilly. Like, Adam Cole will probably do very well. I mean, hopefully. He deserves it, because if he doesn't do very well, all he needs to do is pull a CM Punk and just cut an awesome promo.
Yeah.
And I think they'll put more faith in him from that. But Ricochet doesn't have that kind of natural charisma, and I think he should have taken more time in NXT to work on that. And they just brought him up for literally no reason. Like, what was the point? Like, why did they even bring him up in the first place? Like, he won the US title once.
Yeah.
And then it just hasn't done shit since then.
And then even if you think about what he's done in the main roster, there's been only, like, 3 or 4 noticeable things. Like, he is so good in the ring, but, like, the only things I remember him doing is, like, that cool pose with Alexander, fucking Alistair
Oh, maybe
Black.
That's why, because they brought them up as a tag team, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were a cool tag team.
They
were a cool tag team. I actually liked them.
That was an odd pairing, but it was kind of like they went in the Dusty Classic as well, and then
because it was so odd, I think it worked. The contrast was nice.
Yeah. They did the cool pose with Mustafa Ali where they all sat down in the ring and it looked cool.
That was awesome.
He got fucking squashed by Brock Lesnar. in Saudi Arabia. He was in, I think, one of the Survivor Series matches, and he did alright. And like, fucking the best. Like, literally, I think they might be trying to do something with him because I watched the clips of the latest Raw, which March 29th Raw, which I know will be out of date by now. But there was something going on about Drew McIntyre being fucking pissed because Bobby Lashley said if anyone takes Drew out before Mania, they can take his spot in the match. So Drew went backstage and was just like, alright, who the fuck wants to go? Who wants to take me out? And he was just beating up people like fucking Drew Gulak and that. And then then Ricochet stands up and says, look, I'm not gonna fucking like attack you from behind. I want to face you in the ring. And he actually stood up to Drew, and then they went and had a match in the ring. So It was actually, like, again, his promo work, you're right, isn't the best, but he is that fucking good. Hopefully him, or someone like him, or Shinsuke can win the Battle Royal, and maybe give them a jump start. But, like, we talk about this every year. The Battle Royal means nothing. Like, literally means... Like, it might have helped Braun Strowman a little bit, because I think he went on to get Money in the Bank, and then other shit after his win, but, like, even still, like,
Braun Strowman is so large, like, he didn't need that win.
That's the thing, like, when you think of the accolades of Braun Strowman or Cesaro, you don't think about the fact that they won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. You just don't consider it. It's not a factor. It's just like, you don't care. But, yeah, alright, onto the main card. Now, my one complaint I can see immediately is there's just a fuck ton of singles matches.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
I mean, that is a WrestleMania thing, though, right? Like, you take, like, any feuds, existing, like, beef you have is squashed at WrestleMania. I mean, like, think of John Cena versus The Rock, you know?
I know.
That was a singles match.
I know, but I wish they could add a little bit more stipulations to it just to make it a little bit more interesting, but alright. We'll go up the card from night 1. This is all according to Wikipedia, by the way, so the night these occur on could be different on the actual event. I might actually be able to watch WrestleMania live, because for me, it'll air like...
I have to get Peacock.
But for me at least, it might air like... Sunday morning and then Monday morning for me in Australia, and I think that Monday I don't have work. So I should actually be able to watch both nights. You want me to stream it, guys? So I'll fucking stream it. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, that's next week? Yeah, I'll be off, actually. Mike will be here, but I'll watch. I don't care.
Nice.
I don't care. I mean, Eden Zero is airing next week, too. I'm gonna make Mike watch that with me.
Nice. Base. Alright, let's go with the card. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. That will be tense. Because I remember...
You know what? Cesaro better win.
He better win.
I love Seth and everything, and I think he's doing pretty good work as a heel, but, like, Cesaro needs to win at WrestleMania.
I feel like
come on.
I don't know what... I don't know why, but I feel like Seth is actually doing this thing where he's purposely... he is very good in the rings, is Seth, but I feel like he's purposely trying to make others look better. Like, he's currently working and grinding at the moment just for others, because, like, last year at Mania, he gave the win to Kevin Owens, and, like, that was in a singles match, and then it went to no DQ, but now I feel like he's going to do the same for Cesaro. He's going to take the loss to boost up Cesaro's stuff.
Seth doesn't need it. Like, Seth... he'll do fine.
That's the thing. Like, Seth is in the perfect position to do that because he's got so many accolades already, and he's like such a dick at the second with his current gimmick. It just works. So
yeah, like he doesn't need that win. Like, so Seth is already in a point, even though he's like 34, 35. Like, he's still fairly reasonably like young, compared to some of the other guys on the roster. Like, he's already done so much in his career. He's, like, already too far in with WWE for them to be like, yeah, we're gonna like, not book Seth Rollins, you know? Like, you know, he's married to Becky. You know, they just had a fucking child. Like, there's no way they're gonna, like, you know, Seth losing is not going to bury him, basically. Like, no way. So Seth can absolutely take this loss to Cesaro, but like Cesaro losing on the other hand, that could really be detrimental. And Cesaro, like, he could really use this, like, for real. So I mean, not like, you know, not saying like, it feels like this match is more like a fucking like symbolistic thing almost. Like, if Cesaro wins, I feel like that shows like a level of I mean, it's just a singles match, but like, you know, if it was a championship match, I would probably be like, I don't care who it is, like Cesaro might probably lose. We'll probably lose. But like, for this, it feels like if Cesaro actually does win, it's like them saying, hey, we're listening to what the fans have been saying for literal years. We're going to give this guy a chance, you know, and then maybe he can work up his way up from there. Because a win over Seth Rollins is big. Like, don't get it twisted.
Just quickly, I think Audacity's not responding. What the fuck? Audacity's like minimized. When I go to open it, it doesn't open. I think Audacity, are you broken? Help. Oh, there it is. It says it's been recording for 24 minutes.
I'm on 24 minutes.
Okay, I think it's fine. I hope it looks okay. Alright, sorry about that.
Okay.
I'll hopefully not get fucked up anymore. Alright, yes. I'll cut that out. I'm gonna be editing this one anyway, so I'll cut that out. Yes, no, I agree. Seth Rollins is in like the perfect position to do this because you're right. He's so talented, he's married to Becky, and he's already achieved like more than most in WWE.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Like, he is in the prime position to give other people the rub, and like he can do whatever he wants. He can like give people the rub, piss off for a bit to be with his family, come back, and then do it again.
Yeah,
it's interesting though they've kind of half dropped his Messiah gimmick in exchange for just him being just delusional. Because they even dropped his new theme and gave him like his old theme back.
Oh, and really?
Yeah, like they gave. I think his old "Burn It Down" theme is back, and like they got rid of his holy. The song's called "The Rising." They got rid of it, and
That's a good song though. I liked that song.
Me too.
Oh well.
So
I mean, "Burn It Down." It's like a classic by this point.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they kind of just got rid of that, and he's now just delusional saying... Because his thing isn't about him gaining followers now, he just wants people to embrace the vision, or something like that. And he is actually quite funny on Twitter. Like,
yes, he's hilarious.
Whenever anyone does something to, like, fucking embarrass him, like when Cesaro put him in the swing, he's just like, delete it off Twitter, erase this, and it's just...
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's quite amusing. And Cesaro, despite... I don't know how old Cesaro is, but I feel
like 40. He's getting close, at least.
But I mean, come on, they've pulled the trigger on Bobby Lashley. I feel like this is the time to pull the trigger on Cesaro. Like, despite his age, give him a run with the title. Give him like 6 months to a year with the title.
And just put him against people like, give him championship matches against like Seth, against like Drew, against like, you know, all these people. Like, give him good matchups, and he'll like pull some absolute classics. I bet.
Yeah.
Like with the championship on the line. Oh yeah.
Definitely. All right. Next on the match list, we have Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match.
All of you, everyone, class. I'd like you to ask me a question, and that is if I care. Spoiler: the answer is no.
I thought the question was gonna be why.
Do I give a flying fuck? No, I don't.
No.
I like Shane, dude.
Shane. Go away.
You should have just stayed away, dude. Like,
Go back to the
it's
Nike store.
WrestleMania. You're probably not doing. Aren't you like on Raw, like behind the scenes now? You don't need to have a match, bro. You're gonna die. You're gonna die, Shane. You're like 72. Come on, bro. Like, give it a rest.
He's really got the McMahon syndrome of trying to make everything about himself. He's just like, father isn't proud of me yet. I need to keep destroying myself in order to make sure daddy's proud.
Father isn't... I'm not proud of you, son. Go have a match with Braun Strowman.
Go kill yourself for my enjoyment.
Oh my god.
No,
dude, Shane, honestly, you're like a dad with 3 kids. Your kids were in your in the crowd for your match against AJ. Like, dude, you don't need to have a match at WrestleMania.
He doesn't.
Dude, I'm worried for you, man. Like, you know what he's doing. And you're annoying, but also I'm worried for you.
He's trying to be the new Undertaker, where he only comes back once a year to compete at WrestleMania.
I'd rather John Cena do that.
I know, but he's actually being the new Undertaker. He's just like... He's such a twat. Like, he's good for the occasional promo. He's good to try and, like, set things up as kind of an authority figure, but, like, it's so much better without him. Like, he doesn't pop a rating anymore. He's just annoying, like a 50-year-old trying to do, like, a 20-year-old dance. And like, he's just annoying. Shane,
dude. I'm concerned. Like, the shtick is getting old.
It's been old.
He comes back, does a dance, and then gets murdered. At WrestleMania. Yeah. Anyway, next one.
He's flying off the cage into the announce table, isn't he? Yep.
No, dude, he's not even. That's not even gonna happen. They're gonna. You know how they lower the cage? He's gonna jump. He's gonna get to the top of the cage, and he's gonna tell them to raise it back up, and then he's gonna jump.
He's gonna fall from like 100 feet and just explode when he misses he's gonna miss the announce table and fucking explode on the ground. He's gonna I'm sorry, look, if something actually really bad happens to him at the show, I'm gonna feel bad for saying this, but he's actually gonna fucking die. He's going to explode. Is. He's gonna fucking die, so...
Yeah, like...
Alright. Braun to win, just because fuck Shane.
Braun. Cesaro in the first one, Braun for this one.
Yes. Next up is the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, defending their Raw Tag Team titles against AJ Styles and Omos.
Okay, you're gonna have to, like, catch me up a little bit here. I know Omos has been Styles, enforcer for a long time now, but is he really, like... Is he, like, good enough to be, like, in a match? Again, he's large, but...
I'd say, like, he hasn't... I feel like he could do enough to make the match interesting, but I feel like he couldn't be in the ring for too long. I feel like he's... It's that tall man syndrome of... Like, I don't know if he's got the skill... Let's see, Braun Strowman is probably the best tall man wrestler because he's also athletic. Omos hasn't done a lot to prove that he's also athletic yet. But he's kind of, like, lean enough to the point where you think he could do it. But he hasn't really proven it otherwise. He's just let people bounce off him and he's kicked people in the head. And,
I mean, fair enough.
Honestly, in all ways...
You're gonna have to, like, convince me here. Because I would say, just based on this, I would say convinced. New Day would win, but I don't know. Like,
I'm not even
just because I don't know anything about Omos.
No, see, I'm not even convinced. I don't think... Out of all the ways I saw this pairing going, I did not imagine it going to a tag team match at WrestleMania. Because
and against the New Day, this seems...
Like, back when I tried to fantasy book this shit, I wanted Retribution to have a shutout. I wanted them to fucking win all the gold and actually prove themselves to be a dominant team. But because they were in a feud with the New Day for a short while. Like, Retribution was taking on New Day, they were taking on Hurt Business, and then now it's just like, no, we need a team. AJ Styles because he's good, and Omos because he's there, and it's
he's
just like,
large.
one thing they have been hinting at is a split between AJ Styles and Omos, because, like, one of the things New Day did
I can't help but feel like their whole, like, I get the Omos, like, I get the whole shtick with AJ's heel character, but, like, I can't help but feel like the guy's holding AJ back. You know? Because, like, when I think AJ... Really?
I feel like Omos, he's just been told to stand there and look tough. Mm-hmm. But I reckon he could actually do it.
No, well, I just mean, like, card-wise. Because, like, when I think AJ, I don't think tag team title match. You know?
Neither. Nah, true.
AJ's good enough to be in one of these, like, just straight-up singles matches. He's good enough on the mic. He's good enough in the ring. AJ Styles is, like, one of the greatest wrestlers of our generation. And he's just in a random tag team title match with a tall man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Nah,
I mean, I get not everyone can be in the WWE title match, but still, like, this is AJ Styles. Like, you could put him up against anyone, like, who needed a rub, like Cesaro. Like, again, AJ is, he's good enough and accomplished enough, even in this short run, to, like, so far, as few years, although it has been 5 years already, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, Jesus, we're old.
But it's, like, he's already done enough. He's so deep into, like, the whole WWE thing that, like, he could give a rub to anyone who they wanted to push farther up the card and not be affected by it. And he's good enough to hold, like, a beef, you know, one of those beef feuds that's just like, hey, I don't like you. Let's have a match at WrestleMania for no reason.
Yeah,
just for the fuck of it.
Because he's done that. He literally did that. So, like, he's that fucking good. He could do it with anyone.
Yeah.
But, see, the thing, I reckon, in my mind, they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to make the New Day win and AJ and Omos will split because of the tension they're trying to build, or they're going to make AJ and Omos win because I think they're going to make AJ a Grand Slam champion. I don't know if he's already won the tag team titles. I don't think he has. So they might be trying to make him a Grand Slam, which is fair enough.
I mean, it's got to be done, I guess.
Yeah.
And good for AJ then, you know?
Yeah. So, like,
kind of sucks that the New Day have to take that because the New Day are fucking awesome, but
yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. I miss Big E.
Well, he's doing his thing. Big E deserves his own run. He's that good.
He does, yes. But literally, one of the promos was them, like, doing this weird quiz show game or something like that, where they kept throwing cards around, and one of the cards said, "We miss Big E." And I don't know, the New Day is good with comedy, but yeah. No. Alright, next. I don't know how I feel about this. Bad Bunny with Damien Priest versus The Miz with John Morrison. Now,
I mean, this seems fairly obvious to me that Bad Bunny's gonna win, to clarify. Because, again, this seems like a one of those situations where Miz has been here for over a decade. I mean, he can take a celebrity loss and bounce back from it. And I feel like they're going to, like, reward Bad Bunny with, like, that moment because he's been, like, pretty committed to this whole run of his. Which, respect, you know? But
he appeared on, I don't know what fucking show it was. One of those...
It was the Royal Rumble, wasn't it?
No, he appeared on a fucking American late night show performing one of his songs, and he was holding the WWE 24/7 championship when he was performing. He's that dedicated that he took that shitty looking title to one of his performances.
Wow.
So I reckon they are trying to give him the rub for that.
Yeah.
But there's a few reasons why I'm kind of, like, iffy about this match. One, they've shafted the hell out of Damien Priest because he came in red fucking hot, and in
the Royal Rumble, yeah,
and now they've just made him Bad Bunny's mate. Because, like, why couldn't this be a tag team match? Why couldn't Damien Priest, like, kick the ass of Miz and John Morrison? Bad Bunny comes in and does, because he's proven he can at least do a move or two. Sorry, my phone. Like, he's proven that he can at least do a move or two. Like, why couldn't this be a tag team match? Why does Bad Bunny have to be by himself? Like, I don't get it. Two, although, yes, I definitely 100% agree, Miz is, again, the prime opportunity to... He's one of those guys that can take a big L, but then bounce back really quickly. But he literally was holding the WWE Championship not that long ago. Yeah. I know he was a transitional champion, but, like, that... They did a year of building, like, Otis with the Money in the Bank, then Miz with the Money in the Bank, and then John Morrison being a twat with him. And then he finally actually won the
I actually thought the Miz and John Morrison together doing their shit was kind of funny.
No, see, like, they are great together. That's another thing as well. They are great together. But, like, the Miz was literally just holding the WWE Championship, and now he's mid-card feud with a... Then again, it is with a celebrity. I guess it's a big match thing. But also, John...
And that is something that, like, someone like the Miz could pull off with his mic skills.
Yeah. Like, I feel like AJ could perhaps be in this position as well, but the Miz is like such a dickhead heel, and he's been that established. It just works. It definitely... This does work. I would prefer it to be a tag team match to give Damien Priest a bit more to do. But also...
And John Morrison.
John fucking Morrison. He was brought back just to be the Miz's friend again. I mean, yes,
he's so good.
They are phenomenal together, the Miz and John Morrison. I remember back when I was watching, back when they originally teamed up, and when I used to watch WWE every week, the Dirt Sheet and all that. I used to love that shit. But John fucking Morrison, man, he deserves to do more. Yeah. But fucking oh well. Yeah, I don't know. It's...
We just have such a dense population of super talented wrestlers. It's fucking crazy. Like, I get not everyone can do cool shit all the time, but, like, man, stuff like this really makes you like, surely you could think, like, surely he could be doing something cooler.
See, I see this, but then I look at the match card for night 2, and to me, the position of everyone makes perfect sense. Yeah. Like, where everyone is on the card makes perfect sense. Here, it's kind of like, why is Shane there? AJ and Omos could perhaps be doing better. John Morrison and Damien Priest are on the side. Like, here it's kind of unfortunate. Night 2 looks fucking, perfect almost.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Like, there's so many bits here where it's kind of like, why? But... yeah, probably, no doubt, Bad Bunny will be getting the win on this. Like, it just makes sense. Like, I don't think it's very, very rare a celebrity actually loses. So, yeah, Bad Bunny, and hopefully Damien Priest gets to do something cool as well. But we'll see. Now, I believe, I don't know if this has been, like, officially announced, but I believe because
there was a Twitter movement, I saw it.
For what?
There was a Twitter movement a couple weeks ago about fans wanting Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair to be the main event of night 1.
Yes, see, I reckon not only because of the Twitter movement, but because, like, maybe they're trying to actually make the Royal Rumble victories a bit more, important. Yes. That they're actually going to make it main event, which will be fucking epic if it does. So... second to last on the card is Bobby Lashley with MVP defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Now, see, that's the other... This is...
Go ahead.
You go. No,
okay,
you
sure, all right, I'll go. So basically, I mean, for me, this is, it's going to be a fine match. Like, these two guys are very talented wrestlers. Drew especially, of course, but Bobby Lashley's more like a sports entertainer. But Drew has proven himself and more in the past year, since last year's WrestleMania, as if he needed to. But this just feels like, to me, it just feels like, there was a missed opportunity last year because of the pandemic. They had planned for Drew to get his big moment in front of the whole crowd. And this just feels like they're doing it again, but there's actually going to be a crowd this time. So good for Drew. And sorry for Bobby, but he's still got his championship run. Suck it up, dude. Drew's better than you. But yeah, this just feels like that. Drew to win. That's what it feels like. I mean, I could see Bobby winning, but Drew. It's Drew.
See, it feels like that's the thing. Sometimes WWE like to swerve people. Sometimes the obvious route, is that fucking obvious that they don't do it? Mm-hmm. And I actually have also seen a contingent of people on Twitter and otherwise saying this is Bobby Lashley's first WWE Championship run, and realistically, probably his only one, given his age.
Yeah.
And I reckon because of how hyped the Hurt Business was, people said, let Bobby keep it. Maybe keep him going to SummerSlam, then give Drew the title. And I would have actually agreed. I feel like this is Bobby's only time at the top of the card where he feels perfectly fitted. Yeah. But now they've disbanded the Hurt Business. Now it's kind of
that was the sign that was like, hey, Drew's winning.
Yeah, now to me it feels like it's probably gonna be Drew, and that's absolutely fair. Drew, like Bobby, has been a fucking workhorse, and Drew deserves it. He can do a lot more than Bobby. Not to discredit Bobby Lashley at all. Drew McIntyre has so much more skill, and
totally.
He as a badass face, he is that likable. When he was going around beating up jobbers on Raw, I was behind him. I didn't give a fuck who he was beating up. It was just this is cool because he's actually he's intense. He's got that fucking skill. He's that he's an actually cool face.
He's one of the most complete wrestlers in the whole company, in my opinion. He's got everything. The man he's incredibly talented in the ring. He's not AJ Styles good, but he doesn't need to be. He's still incredibly talented. He's very good at what he does. And even so, he's just a good wrestler. He feels like he has chemistry with people, with his opponents most of the time. He can, his moveset isn't really dull. It's explosive in the right spots. It's technical in the right spots. His mic work is incredible. His character's all there. He even gets the crowd involved with his finisher. He's perfect, right? He's almost the ideal WWE wrestler in 2021. Because not only is he good, speaking-wise and character-wise, but he's good in the ring. Which is what keeps people interested nowadays. You can't just be like Hulk Hogan and be a shitty wrestler. But have a mildly, some character, larger than life character. You have to have all of the above now. But Drew is fucking awesome. He's so good.
Exactly.
So it's Drew to win.
I believe the same. Drew to win, and hopefully, I don't know if the feud will continue. Hopefully, Bobby gets something else interesting to do. Either he'll come chasing for the title again, maybe he'll win it back, who knows. But yeah, I feel like this is Drew's time to have his moment in front of a crowd. So there you go.
And good for Drew. He deserves it.
Definitely. And I agree 100%. He is the complete wrestler, and a rare occasion where it's a face that people actually like.
Yes.
Which is awesome. And what looks to be the main event, hopefully it is. Who knows if it will be, but hopefully it is. Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belaire. Now,
this is a coin toss. I don't know who to pick for this one.
I agree, it's a coin toss. I still kind of think this could happen. I don't think it will because I know how WWE is. In an ideal world, I feel like WWE, everyone, I can almost agree, almost ascertain that everyone will agree with this, that WWE has too many fucking championships. They literally just brought in like they've been meddling around with like the women's tag team championships for ages. They're not even on the card. They're not even on SmackDown.
Yeah,
they're not even, haven't been announced for SmackDown at least. They brought in the women's tag team championships, and they were that shit that NXT didn't want them, and said we'll just have our own NXT women's tag team championship.
Yep.
NXT's
women's roster is fucking huge, so it makes sense.
And it's infinitely better in my opinion as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like there's just too many championships as well. So my idea was, like, in the fantasy booking, was that I want all the non-horsewomen to win, because originally also Charlotte Flair was going to be facing Asuka. So my idea was that Bianca Belair wins this, Asuka wins her match, and then they have a unification match. Because fuck having a SmackDown Women's Championships and a Raw Women's Championships. And like, okay, this is also my other gripe with the championships in WWE. I hate the fact that it's called the SmackDown Women's Championship and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Literally back in the day, I don't know, so back in my day, angry old man, they had the World Tag Team Championships, the WWE Tag Team Championships. They were easy enough to tell apart. They had a little bit of red, a little bit of blue on the title. They had, there was a short period of time when there was both the Women's Championship and the Divas Championship. Yeah, Divas fucking way out the window. You don't need that anymore. But you just need one Women's Championship. They have the Tag Team Championship going across both brands. Why can't they do that with a Women's Championship? Or why can't they fucking put all the women on one show? I don't fucking get it. It's just like, why do you need a SmackDown Women's Championship and a Raw Women's Championship? Why do you need a SmackDown Tag Team Championship and a Raw Tag Team Championship? Like, and then either the name is uninteresting, change the fucking name and the design of the belts, or just unify the things. You don't need this many fucking titles. Anyway, because, like, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships have been shafted to SmackDown instead of WrestleMania because they're that irrelevant. So just combine the damn things. But anyway,
yeah,
enough of that rant. I feel like this is the time of Bianca Belair. I feel like the horsewomen are kind of like, they've had their time in the limelight, and I think the horsewomen's time is finally over. Not only because, like, everyone's kind of moving on to do their own thing. Becky started a family. Bayley's just doing her own heel thing, kind of in the mid card. Charlotte is like doing movies and shit, and yeah, I feel like Sasha Banks is at the point in her career where she could just put people over. Again, like, she might need a big win here or there, but I feel like she's in that spot where she could, like Seth Rollins, put people over and not get hurt from it. So, and Bianca Belair, despite like the crap coming to the main roster at first, where she was just doing like obstacle courses, now she's actually doing the shit she's good at with the wrestling, and I feel like it's the time for Bianca Belair. So
yeah, I mean, you want those Royal Rumble wins to mean something at least, you know?
Yeah, and especially because I also, another thing with the back in the day, the Royal Rumble, like, when they did the stats of the Royal Rumble, like 80% of the people that go on, that win the Royal Rumble go on to win a title at WrestleMania. And, like, in the past 5 or 6 years, most people that have won the Royal Rumble have lost their matches. So that percentage has, like, gone down to, like, 50%. So it's not even a fucking, like, you can't even say, you win the Royal Rumble, you're probably going to win your match, because it's not a thing anymore. So I do believe as well, they do want to kind of up that credit a bit more. Make the Royal Rumble win mean something more. So, yeah, Bianca Belair for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you, because I just don't know. Like, I could see it going either way. But yeah, we'll see. I personally, I don't mind the whole SmackDown thing. I don't think their rosters are big enough to handle it yet, but if it gets to the point where they are, then it would make sense to keep them separated, because I mean, I feel like with 2 shows it would complicate things too much to be like, well, the women can go on any show, but the other guys are like relegated to only one show. Like, I feel like it would get too complicated, and my brain wouldn't be able to keep up with it. But
put all the women on Raw. That's 3 hours on Raw to fill. Put all the women on Raw. I don't.
There you go. Like, I mean, there's a solution in there somewhere. I just don't know what it is. And like, I think you know, I could definitely see Bianca winning, but I could also see Sasha winning. Like, Sasha hasn't been a very notable champion thus far. Like, I'm sure she's doing fine because it's Sasha Banks, but like, she has been just kind of. It feels like she's just kind of been floundering. Like, she hadn't really had any challengers aside from Bianca Belair, and Belaire's great. Like, she deserves a title run, like, for sure, because she didn't have. Did she have one in NXT? I don't think she did. So
Bianca Belair, I don't think she did, actually.
Yeah, so she totally deserves this title run, because I think she came up with the Street Profits or something, which makes sense. But
then they didn't stay together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she totally deserves that win. So I'll agree with you just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be a great match, hopefully, especially since it's main eventing. Hopefully, also.
Yeah, because this is another situation with the women main eventing, and they had the perfect opportunity to make it fucking awesome at WrestleMania 35 with the triple threat, and then they botched it with the ending pin. I really hope they don't botch this one. I really hope Sasha and Bianca put on like a 5-star match, or like whatever their equivalent is, a fucking awesome match regardless. Yeah. So I hope they do pull it off. And
absolutely. Yeah,
Bianca for the W. Now,
there you go.
Night 2, which, if the way it's going to be built, according to Wikipedia, looks almost perfect. And I am keen for this. Let's start going from the bottom up. Riddle, Riddle.
I don't get this, but whatever.
Riddle for defending the United States Championship against Sheamus.
That'll be an okay match.
It'll be a good match, and despite how short the build has been, it does actually make sense in my mind. It's kind of like Riddle's just a dumb goof, like high off his fucking tits, and then Sheamus is more of a serious brawler that wants the United States Championship to be like in the hands of someone who's a bit more serious and can act and like treats it with a bit more respect or something like that. I don't know. For the short build it's had, it actually makes a lot of sense. And
yeah,
like, what have they done with Riddle? What are they doing?
What is Matt? Why did they need to change it to Riddle? I don't even give a fuck. Like, he's United States champion. That's probably where he should be at this point in his main roster career, right? Why change his name? You didn't need to change it to Riddle. He's not even like a character that's like Riddle. Ooh, I'm the Riddler. Like, he's Matt Riddle, dude.
He's like, Matt fucking Riddle. Like, I don't know why they're trying to. I don't know why they're doing these short.
And Matt Riddle has such a nice ring to it. Like, it's not even an excuse that it needed to be a shorter name that's easier to remember. Like, it's easier to remember Matt Riddle as opposed to just Riddle.
I'm really hoping they bring it back, because they brought. I mean, remember that brief period where Apollo Crews was just Apollo, and then they brought his name back. I really hope they do the same with Matt Riddle. Because I'm pretty sure, like, I think now he's changed his gear, but even, like, for a long while, Matt's gear still said MR on it for the longest time, and he's only recently got it fixed. So it's just like, God fucking damn it. Just. Anyway, this match, I feel like it will be a heavy-hitting match, because especially with Riddle's MMA stuff, and Sheamus just being a heavy hitter, and Sheamus is, like, doing some of the best work of his fucking career. Like, it is so, like, I'm incredibly happy that Sheamus has fucking, like, improved his body that much from back from when he was teaming with Cesaro and could barely fucking walk, to the fact that he's now putting on these epic fucking hoss fights. So, good on Sheamus. And I've almost
Celtic Warrior workouts, bro.
Bro, like, and purely because of that, I almost want to give it to Sheamus. Give him one last decent title run. Like, I don't know how old he is.
He's getting on too.
He is. I feel like Sheamus could do with it after, like, he's lost the
I was gonna say Matt to win, just because I feel like he could very easily, if he were to lose this, he could very easily get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So I want Matt to win, but I could see it going either way.
I could see it going either way because I'm trying to think. A few months, one thing I don't think WWE does enough, but one thing they're trying to take into consideration is 6 months down the line. Who's going to be the big guys 6 months down the line? And I think maybe, probably give Matt the win here, and then Sheamus could perhaps win it halfway through the year or something like that, or a bit later on.
Sure, yeah.
Because either way, both these guys kind of deserve a win. So, yeah, who knows? It could go either way. I'm predicting Sheamus, but it could easily go either way.
Yeah. I definitely, it could go... I don't even know. I have no clue. But, and for the next... I mean, Big E's gonna win his match, but for the next, for the next, 3 or 4... even the last one, I don't even have a clue. Basically, for the rest of the matches, I'm stumped. I don't even know who to win.
See, this is the other thing on why I think Night 2 is going to be fucking phenomenal with it is this match card, because you can't accurately predict it. There's no obvious answer, which is good.
Yes,
that's kind of what you want. So, Riddle or Sheamus, who knows? It'll probably be good because they're both tall, heavy hitters. So fucking let's go. And next up is a classic matchup of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I don't know if they fought at WrestleMania before. I know they teamed at WrestleMania once.
They have not.
This will be good, but I feel like the one thing
if Sami Zayn actually wrestles, yeah.
See, okay, I'm afraid that the one thing that's going to hamper it, Logan Paul.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have just canceled him when he did that stupid shit in Japan?
Because he's persistent and he hasn't done anything fucking dumb since then. And also because he's still a huge fucking YouTuber. And people still watch his shit. But look, I'm just praying to God that they just let Kevin and Sami do what they do best.
Logan Paul for the distraction.
Oh.
No.
I hope not.
Again, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. One of
I know.
Potentially one of the best matches of the night. Logan Paul with the distraction.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And it could very easily happen, because I think it's either this SmackDown that's going to be happening around the time that we're recording this, or the SmackDown before Mania. I feel like it's probably the SmackDown, though, the one happening now, the day we're recording this. They're doing the whole thing with Logan checking out Sami's documentary that he's been filming about the conspiracy in WWE, and I don't know if Logan will be added as someone to help Sami, or I don't know if this is a quick attempted ratings pop before Mania. I don't know, but I could very easily see them making Logan accompany Sami to the ring and him pull a distraction. Probably wearing that stupid fucking Toy Story hat he wore in Japan. And it could ruin everything. I'm really hoping they don't, and I'm really hoping it's just a straight up singles match between Kevin and Sami, because they've done it 100 times before, and apparently it's always been great, because they've been best friends since fucking, I don't know, the indie scene.
Yeah.
Just let them fucking have a good match. Don't bring Logan Paul to WrestleMania. Just go do it.
Anyway, next.
And who I want to win, I don't know either or. As long as Sami actually competes, probably Kevin for a face victory, who knows. Anyway, next. Big E defending the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews.
Big E's gonna win.
Probably.
There's no way Apollo Crews is gonna beat Big E.
See, but imagine if he did.
He's not.
Imagine if they.
I'm not gonna imagine. I'm not gonna imagine. I don't want to imagine it.
He probably isn't. He probably isn't. But just like they finally gave him an interesting character, and then like immediately hand him a championship. That could legitimize Apollo Crews for the first time in years. And like it would be cool to see, but also Big E is doing.
You can't sacrifice Big E for Apollo Crews.
See, okay, yes, no, they could probably like in the future, someone could cheat Big E out of the title, and then another face wins it, and then Apollo Crews wins it from that face, maybe. But for now, keep it on Big E because he's doing great shit, and like Apollo Crews. It might take him a while to recover from it, but I feel like Apollo could easily bring it back. And with his new, Apollo Crews again, like he wasn't interesting before. They've finally given him something interesting. He's probably going to lose it though.
He's too far gone. Like
he is very far gone. Like this heel turn is the one chance to make him good and interesting again. But then again, he did lose to like Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown. Yeah, no, fuck it, Big E's probably gonna win.
It's Big E.
It's Big E.
It better be.
I mean, if Apollo does win, good on Apollo, but that's a shame for Big E. But yeah. Anyway, next up, it's being billed as just a singles match. Hopefully, hopefully, a bit more happens during it. Who knows? The Fiend with Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton.
Oof.
I really fucking hope they make this a Firefly Funhouse match. It's probably a bit late. I really hope they do it. I want them to do it. I know it's probably a bit late to announce it as such, but I mean, they've been doing spooky shit for months. Surely they can make it a Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Alexa Bliss, right? Like, I get what they're going for with her. Like, with her current whole shtick alongside The Fiend. And Alexa's, compared to, like, a lot of the other women's wrestlers nowadays, she can't quite keep up as far as in-ring goes. With your Sasha Banks, your Bianca Belair, your Rhea Ripley, Asuka, with your even Bayley, Becky, Charlotte. Like, she can't keep up with them. She's not as good. But what she does have is an incredible natural charisma that pretty much nobody else has. Like, Becky's an anomaly in and of herself, but that was her. She was not as natural as Alexa is, especially at being a dick. So I don't quite understand, like, why she was put in this position, even, like, in the first place. But I get how her being there kind of makes the Fiend feel a little bit more interesting, because he kind of was stagnating without Alexa. But it is interesting to see Alexa in such a unique position. But I mean, the Fiend better beat Randy Orton, by the way, in whatever fucking match this is. Like, the Fiend better win. But I don't know. I guess it just feels weird to me that Alexa's in this position. Not that she shouldn't be, because she isn't as good in the ring as a lot of the other women's wrestlers that in the division. So it kind of makes sense for her to be in a character-driven position, but it still kind of feels weird. I guess it's a nice break from her just being champion all the time, so that's good at least. Or her feuding with Nikki Cross or whatever the fuck she was doing. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, Nikki Cross, where the fuck did she go? She disappeared shortly after that.
Yeah.
But, see, the thing with this is that, at least in regards to Alexa Bliss, even with, like, her and the Fiend, how do you change them back?
I don't know.
Story-wise, if they ever wanted to split the two up, how would Alexa just transition back from creepy, white-eyed demon girl to normal Alexa Bliss? Like, it would be very, very weird.
Yes.
So I feel like these two have to stay together a bit longer. And now that Crispy Fiend has officially debuted, I feel like they are going to be stuck together a bit longer. Extra crispy. I feel like they are going to be stuck together a bit longer. And I do believe that the Fiend will win because it just makes the most sense. I mean, he defeated John Cena last year. Why wouldn't he defeat Randy Orton? Randy Orton technically lost to Alexa Bliss at fucking Fastlane or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So, can't just have him win now. But see, Randy Orton is such a fucking anomaly. He is a veteran, but he is doing consistently excellent work every time he steps in the ring. Like, he doesn't seem like someone who would just like, oh yeah, I want to like take a break. Because he doesn't. He's only ever been out like not wrestling when he's been injured. Mm-hmm. And what was the last time that happened? Like in 2016 when he came back against Brock. Like, he's such a fucking he's such a good wrestler. Like, even though it's very standard, but he's such an entertaining wrestler as well. When he wants to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when the Fiend beat John Cena, it made in the regard that John Cena is a proper part-timer and he dips out all the time. Mm-hmm. With Randy Orton, I feel like maybe that's the reason they haven't built it as a Firefly Funhouse match, because Randy Orton's probably going to be back next week, the week after. Which, I mean, that makes sense, but I would still think it would be awesome to see another Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania. Totally. But, the Fiend definitely with the win, but in regards to what happens after Mania, who knows?
Yeah.
We have, like... Okay, if I were to, like, imagine if a Firefly Funhouse match would win, it would probably just be based on Randy Orton, like, because I feel like it would be really cool for, like, Randy Orton, he started off, like, in Evolution, and he was betrayed by Evolution, and then since then, he's been doing nothing but like, taking after Triple H and betraying every single team he's ever been in, including the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
And because of that, like, Randy Orton has got to deal with his sins or whatever, and then, like, they're gonna make him fucking regret betraying so many people. Yeah. And then maybe Randy Orton could go away for 6 months or for a year or for however long. But
yeah,
again, he's just that consistent. Who knows if he will? And so that's the thing. I feel like out of everything on the Night 2 card, it's probably safely assured that the Fiend's going to win, because why would they bring him back now as Extra Crispy Fiend just to lose again? And after he was just pinned by fucking Alexa Bliss in a really sexual position, which don't demonetize us. That was weird. That was very weird. Okay, I don't know if you ever remember this. Growing up, I had like 10 videotapes and 10 DVDs of like different WWE cards. One of them was ECW One Night Stand 2006. Okay. I don't know if you know anything about that card, but there was like a mixed tag intergender match. It was like Edge and Mick Foley and Lita versus like some ECW people. I don't remember.
Sure.
But the way the match ended was Edge spearing the female participant in that match and pitting her as if he was humping her. And this...
That's an Edge thing to do.
I know, and back in 2006 as well. Like,
yeah.
That's just... Yeah. But this kind of... I don't know why, in a weird way reminded me of that. Just the way Alexa... You could have sat anywhere. Why did you sit on his dick? Come on. what are you doing? What are you doing? But it's just like, it reminded me of that. I'm just like, fuck. What are they doing? Like, what the hell? But either way. Yeah. Randy Orton was fucking pinned by Alexa. Why would he beat the Fiend here? Doesn't make sense. So,
where's Randy Orton here? Posting that picture on Twitter? Like, yeah, I fucked Alexa Bliss.
Get wrecked, Simps.
Yeah, right? Who did she marry? She married, like, some fucking loser. I don't know. Or is engaged, Alexa is.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I'm gonna Google it. I feel like I feel like he was like a pop punk singer or something, so I was like, he's probably a loser.
Singer or like I would know. NFL player or something? I don't know.
I would know. I would know about pop punk singers being losers. I'm one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so Bliss fiance. I'm googling this
because I try.
Ryan Cabrera. Who the fuck are you?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out. Time to read this article. He's 38.
All right.
Anyway, continue. What's the next match?
Anyway, for where things go beyond here with Fiend and Randy Orton, who the fuck knows? If the feud ends here, great. If it doesn't, I don't know. But hopefully it's Firefly Funhouse, and hopefully they both get something to do or not after Mania. Just hopefully the Fiend and Alexa Bliss stay relevant. That's all. Next is Asuka defending the Raw Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley because Charlotte got COVID. Jesus Christ.
Well, you know what? This is a blessing, not even a blessing in disguise. We just got lucky. Because Asuka versus Rhea Ripley is actually a cool match.
It is, and also Charlotte could have also been out because of everything going on with Andrade at the same time. Who the fuck knows?
Yep.
But
she's gonna go repeatedly. She's gonna go have her brains fucked out by Andrade's massive penis. Dude, I've said for so long, like Andrade. If Charlotte's gonna date Andrade, this guy who like barely speaks English, he must have a massive cock.
He probably does.
He probably does.
He's just like, what are you gonna do now that you're gone from WWE? I'm just gonna fuck my girlfriend. For
I'm gonna
2 months.
I'm just gonna repeatedly fuck my Charlotte Flair, daughter of Ric Flair, for like a long time.
That's funny, but no, fucking this is gonna be an intense match, and. Especially because, like, even still considering the history of these two and Charlotte, how Charlotte fucking beat both of them at separate Manias. Or was it? Didn't Charlotte beat Rhea for the NXT Championship at Mania, or was that
Charlotte? Charlotte beat Rhea when Rhea should have won.
Yeah. So now, at this point of time. In my mind, what they're gonna do is they're gonna let Rhea beat Asuka, and then when Charlotte comes back, they're gonna make Charlotte challenge Rhea, and hopefully Rhea holds on to it.
Yes,
just to make it fucking worth it. And I do feel incredibly bad for Asuka. They've tried to make her relevant again recently, but she was most relevant, like as of late. She was most relevant during the start of the COVID era. She was, like, entertaining and interesting and, like, was unique. She still is, but they've kind of dropped the ball with Asuka. And they do this, like, ever since she lost her fucking streak. I watched it happen in a fucking cinema. Like, because they were literally airing WrestleMania in a cinema, and I watched it, and it was cool. But, like, I watched it happen, and since then, Asuka keeps going into a pitfall. And then... it gets a little bit of momentum, and then she falls down again. And I feel like it's happening again, but I feel like Rhea Ripley kind of needs it as well. Like, she kind of needs the title.
Oh, totally. I mean, like, I could see this going either way, but Rhea holding the Raw Women's Championship would do wonders for her.
Yes. So, Rhea Ripley?
Rhea Ripley, hesitantly.
yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping they get to make
Asuka
relevant again, but who knows? Okay.
Wow, he's over
last match. Over the hill?
Ryan, this dude. He's like a musician. This is Alexa's fiance. I'm so curious about this guy. He's apparently a musician. Sorry, as a fellow musician, I'm curious.
Alright.
Oh, he released a single in 2019. The Moon Underwater. Are his music any? I'll listen to him later. Maybe I'll listen to one at the end of this podcast. We'll fucking listen to one of his songs or something. All right. Last one.
The main event, it appears to be the main event of the entire thing, but of night 2. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman defending the Universal Championship against Edge, against Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be okay. I'll start with this one because I do have some things to say.
Yeah.
Edge winning was fine. Like, very good field goal moment at the Royal Rumble. I'm okay with that. Him picking Roman Reigns was the right call. Again, Roman Reigns, I don't even know if we've had the opportunity to like say this in even a wrestling related thing. We haven't done one in forever. But Roman Reigns' heel run has been a huge breath of fresh air.
Yes.
An actually solid, detestable heel. Roman is just great. Like, he fits into the role so well, and with Paul Heyman, like, there's nothing that can go wrong. Like, even it feels like they should have paired Paul Heyman with Roman a long time ago, because now Roman can actually cut a promo, which is a stark contrast to how he was like 5-6 years ago. He even like his promos alongside Heyman have been incredible. So like there's just I don't even know, like, but it's just that good. Like, he is the perfect heel for the main event, the perfect heel champion to go into the main event of WrestleMania right now. Like, he's not like, he's just bad, and people boo, not, like, bad as in he's a bad heel, like, or a good heel. Sorry, he's a good heel. So. Yeah.
Like, and because of his history, like, and because he's kind of like delving into the idea of like, fuck you guys, like, you've always booed me, but now that I'm with Paul Heyman, and now that I'm being the cocky heel like Brock Lesnar, but I'm actually here every week, it's very easy, like, because there are a few contingent of people now like cheering him because he's doing something interesting.
Yeah,
but he's mostly getting booed. Then again, it's been piped in crowd noise for months, so that's probably on purpose. But he's actually like getting negative reception for being a heel, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
He's actually being a good heel. So yeah, there you go. It's really interesting to see, and I agree with everything you just said. Sorry, but continue.
Yeah. So, but aside from all that, right? Edge is not the youngest he's ever been, and Roman, despite being a very talented, very handsome man, I would be very worried about a match with just those two, right? Like Edge versus Roman Reigns. Like, it's cool concept, like, oh, spear versus spear, who's the best one? But God, that could have been a very slow main event. But adding this rogue element, a rogue third element, and that element being Daniel Bryan, who's kind of been involved with the whole feud going on, and was probably maybe could have won the Royal Rumble, like, might have been a stroke of genius. That might have saved this main event. Like, that could have been a rough match to get through if it was just Edge and Roman, because Roman was already kind of like take it slow but occasionally explosive things. That versus 48-year-old Edge, or however old he is, one-on-one,
yeah,
could have been very rough.
You might accidentally fucking break his ribs, if you're not careful.
So Daniel Bryan, just not just having a third element. Like, they could have made this a triple threat, and then, like, oh, that's, makes it a little more interesting. But Daniel Bryan specifically, I think again, he's kind of like AJ, very talented on the mic, very extremely talented in the ring. He's going to single-handedly carry and save this match, is Daniel Bryan. Like, this is going to be a really cool main event. It was already going to be pretty cool just to see, like, the spectacle of it. Like, after they finished making their entrances, a one-on-one match would have just been, like, it would have been cool, like, seeing them face off. It's like, oh, Roman Reigns versus Edge, new generation versus old generation, who's gonna win? But this is actually going to be a good main event. Like, actually. So, like, it's going to be chaos, and it's going to be the right kind of chaos, I believe. I couldn't tell you who's going to win. My gut says Edge, because Roman has been carrying championship for a while, and I feel like they want to give Edge another run, because he is back, and we don't know how much longer he's going to be back, but he's going to be unretired. But yeah, my gut says Edge, but it could be any of them. I could see this going any of the three ways, like, legitimately.
Yeah, no, see,
so
this is a very tough one to call,
yeah,
for multiple reasons, because with at least with the way WWE is, it's a lot of the time you can predict something purely because of, like, oh, ratings is happening, or, like, oh, this is the way they built someone up. But for all three of these guys, their stories are kind of, like, all different and all versatile, that you cannot definitively say who's gonna win, because I feel like the one with probably the most chance to win is actually Roman. But even then, if you give Roman the win,
who's going to take it from him?
Who's going to take it from him? Who, on SmackDown at least, like, you could perhaps start building Cesaro.
Maybe.
This could be his time. But, like in an ideal world, yeah, but you know how easily WWE changes their
shit. And you know what? It would show a level of commitment to have Roman win and just have this heel championship carry the title for a long ass time. Which I'm not against. It's not a good idea. Like, Roman holding the belt, like, he's done great with it so far. So I wouldn't be upset.
Yes. Neither. And see, and with Edge and Daniel Bryan, Edge said, at least for this run, he's back. But is he, though? Is he going to... can he handle a full-time schedule?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can he be here every week? Also, I just found out, yes, we are recording this technically on the 3rd/2nd for you. I don't know what it actually is for you.
The 2nd.
Yeah, and SmackDown is happening live. And it appears that Edge has either gone full tweener or full heel, because apparently he cut it. There was just one of the quotes of the promo he did backstage where he said, like, oh, will you feel bad if Daniel Bryan gets hurt? Because apparently he's facing Jey. Will you feel bad if Daniel Bryan gets hurt and is unable to compete in the match? And Edge laughed and said no, because Edge wants the match just with Roman. So Edge is kind of in the tweener position at the second.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, like, with Edge, you don't know if he's going to be back full time. Is it poetic for him to win the equivalent of the World Heavyweight Championship years after he had to vacate it? Yes, it is. But what can he do with that? Like, where will he go from here? Maybe Edge versus Daniel Bryan in the future, but then what do you do with Roman? He's still such a top guy, though.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Bryan. He's admitted this is probably going to be his last big WrestleMania. And he's a proper full-on face. If you give him the win, Does he lose it back to Roman in the future? Does he lose it to, like, a fully heel Edge in the future? Who knows? Or maybe has a proper face versus face against Cesaro. No, or loses it to Seth. See, there's so many different ways they could take this that it's that, and it's that compelling. You don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
And for me, because WWE everyone, when we fantasy book this shit, and especially people like Adam Lombio, and especially people like Pacitti, because like when Adam Pacitti on Cultaholic, when he predicts things for wrestling shows, he always thinks long term, kind of like me. I like to think long term, but that's the reason he always fucking loses the predictions, because WWE don't think long term.
Mm-hmm.
They like to think of the short term, what happens now. And with Roman, I feel like this is the rare occasion where they are going long term, so they're probably going to keep it on him. Because Daniel Bryan getting his last big WrestleMania moment, it could happen, but I don't imagine him holding it for long.
Yeah.
And neither for Edge. How long would he hold it? Who knows?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to guess Roman Reigns to retain.
It's a good call.
It is. It's a safe bet in regards to everything else. Like, out of everything, it's probably a safe bet. But
man.
Also, just FYI, that actually the tag team match for the match for the tag team titles is happening right now. So depending on how long we talk for, we might be able to find out what are the predictions right now.
Oh shit! Let's
So
go.
there you go. I think the Andre the Giant Battle Royale's ending the show, but yeah, so
I don't care.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Actually, unless this is this the tag team match? I don't know. Unless it's just Street Profits versus.
Wouldn't it be
Rand
next
Dominic.
week?
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's probably just Street Profits versus Rand Dominic. That's probably what it is at the second. But oh no, it is next week. Sorry, it is next week.
That's what I figured. That was gonna be a little weird.
Yeah, it definitely.
But yeah, that'll be a good main event, though. I think.
Yes, I feel like. See, Edge has put in long haul matches. Like, he did those 2 really long matches against Randy Orton. He can, and he stayed in for the entire fucking thing for the Royal Rumble. He doesn't have to have a whole lot of impressive moves. He can hold off in a long match and do enough to make it compelling.
Yeah.
With his age. He's still a really good wrestler.
Oh, totally.
So I feel like these 3... fully heel Roman Reigns, tweener Edge, face Daniel Bryan, they could put on something really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very, very difficult to figure out who's going to win.
Yeah.
No, but
it's good.
I'm going with Roman.
Just out of curiosity, do you want to run through TakeOver just really quick?
Yes, and there's also something else I want to bring up, which is fucking epic. But yeah, we'll quickly
What
go
do you want to bring up? Is it quick?
I reckon it's going to spark a bit of discussion, so we'll leave it to the end.
Oh. You overestimate me.
All right, fine. Chris Jericho is going to be the next guest on on the WWE Network show Steve Austin's Stone Cold podcast thing.
Really?
Chris Jericho.
Oh.
Fucking AEW's own Chris Jericho is going to be on a WWE Network show. Like, I think it's premiering just after WrestleMania.
I literally don't think it means anything. I think it's just...
It's Chris Jericho. It doesn't, but that's fucking sick. Like, it's just really fucking cool to see, in my mind. It's just like, wow, that is fucking interesting. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
That was announced a few hours ago, so it's just like, wow, that's cool.
That'll
who knows
be a
what
good
they're going to talk
podcast.
about? It will. Who knows if they will actually talk about AEW? Who the fuck knows? That probably will.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm happy. I brought up the NXT Stand Deliver card.
Yep.
We'll quickly go through it just because it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Io Shirai defending the NXT Women's Championship.
I think this is actually in order,
Gonzalez.
so you can start from the top.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, fine. That would make sense. Pete Dunne versus Kashida. Now, okay, FYI, I have not been catching up with NXT.
I haven't either,
so I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like a great card. Pete Dunne versus Kashida.
I want Kashida to win, but because Kashida, he has so much potential. He's such a cool wrestler, but man, Pete Dunne is so established at this point. Like, what? Pete Dunne is like fucking 25. Like, he's so young. Unbelievable.
Oh, legend. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I want Kashida to win. I want Kashida to win. I hope in my heart.
You could definitely do with a W.
Yeah, because he hasn't. I mean, he's been here for like almost a year, probably. He's not more than a year, and he just hasn't done jack squat.
Yeah,
and it probably pandemic is partially to blame for that. Like, he came in right in like with the pandemic, and he teamed up with Alex Shelley in the Dusty Classic last year, and then he just hasn't done shit. But yeah, I want Kashida to win because it's time he started rising up the card. Yeah. What's next?
Next, well, after Danny Burch got injured, they had to vacate the NXT Tag Team Championships.
I remember that,
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks.
So the vacant titles are up for grabs with MSK, Wesley and Nash Carter versus grizzled young veterans of James Drake and Zach Gibson versus Legado del Fantasma of Raul Mendoza and Jaquian Wild, I think.
Joaquin Wild, yeah. Joaquin Wild.
Joaquin Wild.
Joaquin, it's all Spanish. GYV.
Yeah.
GYV. It's gotta be.
I feel like, yeah, it could either be MSK or Grizzled Young Veterans, but I feel like Grizzled Young Veterans, they're the ones that lost the titles to Ernie Lorcan and Danny Burch, weren't they?
No. They came from NXT UK.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They were the first champs, I'm pretty sure. The first NXT UK tag champs. They're very charismatic. They're awesome heels. I hope it's them.
Yeah, no, yeah, they are really good.
It could because Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch were also heel. It could be MSK, but the young upstarts. But I want to say it's GYV, but it could be MSK.
I would love it to be GYV because they are great, but I also do see MSK because they've only been just brought in.
Yeah,
they haven't been here long, but they've got a lot of momentum behind them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could very easily be either of those.
Yeah.
Sorry, Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, you guys are not winning.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Next is a 6-man Gauntlet Eliminator match to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT North American Championship on night 2.
Because it's Johnny, it's got to be Dexter Lumis. You don't have to list it off. It's 6 people. Who gives a fuck? It's got to be Dexter Lumis.
I care. Leon Ruff, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, LA Knight.
You can read.
Now,
it's fine.
I can read. Fuck. But I do agree with the fact, because it's Johnny, it probably is going to be Dexter Lumis. But see, that's the thing. Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, they have a lot of momentum behind them as well. But for my heart's heart, because I fucking love the guy, Bronson Reed.
He is not going to win, but you can.
He's not going to win, but I want it to be Bronson Reed. We all so fucking badly. Come on, Bronson. I just want my man to fucking get the dub, but he's not going to do it.
He's not.
It's probably going to be Dexter Lumis or LA Knight.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those two, probably.
Yeah.
Next. Wow, this is an interesting match.
Definitely. Walter defending the NXT United Kingdom Championship against Tommaso Ciampa.
It's got to be Big Walter.
Fuck me.
It's got to be Big Walter. But good match, though. What a match this will be.
I feel like Tommaso could actually do it. I feel like
NXT UK, though? Walter. It's got to be Walter.
I know it's weird, but
there's no way. Walter has just come back. There's no way. They're giving him Tommaso because Tommaso's been here forever. And Walter will just destroy him. It's got to be Walter.
But who else could defeat Walter though?
Ilya Dragunov.
I guess you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong, dude.
Oh,
it's got to be Ilya Dragunov. It's Walter. It's Walter. There's no way Ciampa's winning the UK title. He's not going to NXT UK to defend the championship. It's not going to happen.
No. probably isn't. No, alright, Walter. Yeah, you've convinced me. Walter. Then we have Io Shirai defending the NXT Women's Championship against Raquel Gonzalez.
Io to retain.
Dakota Kai. Yeah, probably Io to retain. Although
Raquel, if anyone were to like Raquel Gonzalez has always been Dakota Kai's like enforcer, like Omos or whatever the fuck his name is for AJ. If anyone was gonna do it, I figure it should be Dakota, but she doesn't have enough momentum behind her right now, so it's not gonna be Raquel. It's gonna be Io. Io's gonna retain.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with Io winning as well. I feel like that just makes sense.
Yep.
All right, night 2. Tag team match for Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defending the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships against The Way of Candice LeRae and Indi
There's
Hartwell.
no way. I love the team of Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. They're not losing. It's got to be them. They just got the titles too.
I know, but who the fuck does they defeat for it, and who literally just got it from them? Like,
I don't know.
They literally. Who the fuck was the team that won it, and then they immediately lost it to Moon?
That was Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, see, what the fuck? What happened there? Why did they just immediately give them to?
Oh, because they challenged Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, and almost won.
I know the other two were literally just given the titles, but then they immediately lost it to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I guess it was supposed to be like a shock return thing, because Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez are still heels. So Ember Moon did make her like surprise return. So I mean, doesn't matter. It's Ember Moon and Shotzi. Like Ember and Shotzi.
I agree because I feel like whoever's gonna win the Gauntlet will defeat Johnny Gargano, and then and then The Way will have no titles. I just feel like that would make the most sense leading from here. Next is Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in an unsanctioned match.
Kyle.
Give Kyle his
Kyle
win.
Needs to
give
win.
It to him. These two have been fucking intense.
Adam can go to Cole can go to the main roster. He's ready.
Is this his time to go to the main roster, you reckon?
I think so, especially if he loses, which I think he will.
Yeah.
I mean, Cole, he held the title. He's pretty sure he's the longest reigning NXT champion. He's good.
Yeah.
He can go.
Yeah.
So Kyle to win.
Kyle to win. Alright, fair enough. Kyle to win. Next, Johnny Gargano defending the NXT North American Championship against the winner of the Gauntlet match. In my perfect world of my fantasy, Bronson Reed would win that as well, but who the fuck? It's not going to be Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Probably going to be Dexter
I want it to be. I think
Knight.
Dexter Lumis has spent enough time. LA Knight's fairly new still. So if it's LA Knight, I think Johnny will win, but if it's Dexter, I think Dexter will win.
Yeah. Alright.
LA Knight does not have enough momentum behind him to beat Johnny yet, I don't think. Although I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know anything. I don't really know much about LA Knight, to be honest. I just know he's like caused a stir.
Yeah, it was really interesting when he came.
Yeah.
Next, ladder match to determine the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
This has got to be this is Devlin. It's got to be.
Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar. In all honesty, the Legado del Fantasma of Escobar, Mendoza, and Wilde, I haven't cared about them.
Yeah.
They're not interesting to me. They were interesting when they were kidnapping people. And
I think when they first turned heel, they were good.
Yeah, and then they've just kind of been like, yeah, we're here.
They've lost so much steam. Devlin is, again, he's like Walter, just coming back in. I think Devlin is going to win.
Because he didn't, I think as well, he didn't have the title for long before COVID hit, and he
didn't have it for very long.
He had to stay home, and then they had to crown an interim. So I do feel like Jordan Devlin should get the win.
Yeah.
It just makes the most sense. And the main event for the NXT champion, Finn Balor defending the title against Karrion Kross, who has Scarlett with him. Okay. Now, this is odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
I could see this going either way.
Agreed.
And especially because Karrion Kross had that weird mini feud with like, didn't he challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship or something?
Cruiserweight? He's not a Cruiserweight.
No, he's not, but he did something like really brief before he went on to Finn Balor, and that was odd. But I feel like because of his whole injury thing, and Finn Balor won after Karrion got injured, this could probably be Karrion Kross's moment.
I was going to say, we've
keep it.
predicted a lot of retentions. I'm thinking Karrion Kross is going to win.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So,
like, finally, just hopefully not get hurt this time, and
immediately after,
have a decent run. Oh, that fucking that's. I feel so like that feels cursed almost. Like Finn Balor won the Universal Championship, got injured straight away. Karrion Kross won the NXT Championship, got injured straight away. Fucking Danny Burch and Only Lorcan barely held onto the tag team titles. One of them got injured, vacated. Like, fuck, what is going... Why?
Yeah.
Like, I know it was a few years since Finn did that, but it's just like, it almost... And then, what was it, Tommaso Ciampa got injured, so then Adam Cole had to take his place in that match against Johnny. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, these fuckers keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's weird. Stop getting hurt. But, yeah. I feel like now's the time to once again pull the trigger on Karrion Kross, because Finn Balor... See, this is a rare case where I feel like Finn Balor could go into any feud from here. He could
agree.
Just choose someone and be like, fuck you, I want to have a fight. Like, because Finn Balor...
He's Finn Balor.
He's Finn Balor. Like
oh, wasn't he totally going to have a match with Walter? Oh. Wasn't he?
There you go. He could challenge for the UK title.
I feel like he totally was. They were doing a takeover in Ireland. And...
oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
They could do that now. Alright, yeah. And look, if anyone could fucking dethrone Walter, why not Finn Balor? That could definitely happen. Alright, yeah. So I think Karrion Kross, and you're right, as well with the retention thing. A lot of people, like, even though Johnny could easily win or lose it, I do feel like, Walter, Io, Ember Moon, Shotzi will all retain.
Yeah.
So, pretty confident with that. So, yeah, Karrion Kross to win that.
Yep.
And yeah, alright. That's literally all of the WrestleMania and also NXT Stand and Deliver predictions. I'm going to quickly check Twitter again to make sure nothing interesting has happened.
I'm going to listen to one of this guy's songs. Ooh, one of these has 66 million
okay, wait. They're once again calling Rollins the Messiah on Twitter. Oh. So, I don't know, maybe they're giving him his thing back.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
But it's still literally just Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, so that's good. They're giving him the quote, "The swing is in the air." Okay. Why not? Yeah, I think that's about all that's happened at the minute. Yeah, so there we go. That is our predictions.
Wow.
WrestleMania 37, as well
as
the brief predictions for NXT Stand and Deliver. And who knows where the future from WWE goes on from here. But I do want to say, like, there is a lot of interesting shit happening in the world of wrestling right now, and in AEW as well. And now that NXT is moving to Tuesdays, it kind of breaks up and gives everyone more of a chance to shine. Yeah. And also, I didn't think this was actually going to happen, but they made it happen. Because NXT's moving to Tuesdays, people were just like, okay, now Impact should move to Thursdays. But then they actually said, okay, yeah, well, that's what we're going to do. They're actually just like, you know what, we know when we can't go up against NXT, we're going to Thursdays. So now it's like a full week, every night you have wrestling.
Yeah.
You have Raw Mondays, NXT Tuesdays.
You could work a full-time job and just come back every day after work, just watch wrestling.
Thursdays Impact, Friday SmackDown. You literally could do that. You could spend every night watching wrestling, especially if you're in America where it actually works with time zones. But that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. But I'm in such an odd place, especially with wrestling, because I tune into Cultaholic, the podcast. I tune into Wrestle Talk News. I keep up to date with it, but like, I haven't been watching properly for a long time. Like for a decent, well, at least for this year, like last year, because of how fucked COVID made everything.
Yeah.
I did tune in for like Survivor Series and for the Firefly Inferno match. Like I did tune in for those. And Royal Rumble even.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, now that crowds are coming back, I'll either be fully invested in it, or I'm just going to start dropping off even further.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to tell, but I mean, depending on how these shows go, depending on what the future is set up to look like, I could be balls deep. Yeah. Who the fuck knows? But
yeah.
And like, especially like AEW as well. They're doing such good stuff over there as well.
Oh, totally.
The only criticism with AEW is that it appears that like everyone is in a fucking faction now.
Yeah.
So that's
it does kind of like, it feels like there's not a lot of people that are just like lone wolves. Because I thought John Moxley was that, but now he's got a teammate. So
got Eddie Kingston. Yeah.
But you know, it's fine.
Oh.
Again, like I've dropped off pretty much all wrestling, but the reason for that is I over these past few months or so, I've been doing a lot of music stuff. I've been watching a lot of anime, just fucking getting into the other things that I want to watch. And again, like kind of like you, like wrestling has became less of a priority when the crowd stopped reacting. There were no crowds to react to anything. So I think, depending on how everything goes from here, like I could, and plus there was no access to it. I didn't really have access because I stopped paying for WWE Network, and I didn't have cable. Yeah, I don't fucking want Peacock. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But it stopped being like, I didn't have cable at the house I was living at for a while. So I couldn't watch it when I wanted to, and now I've got a part-time where I work some weekdays at night. Shit's just hectic right now, so wrestling became less of a priority, but that doesn't mean I don't want to get back into it. I do. It's just it is, you have to be, I do feel like mad props to the people who do like watch it all the time, but like I feel like I needed a break from it. And I feel like I'm getting close to where I can come back to it and feel excited about it again, but I'm not there yet. Or I'm just gonna like fall off completely. I don't want to fall off completely because I do want to like at least keep track of what's happening.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I just I want to be able to like enjoy it again. And NXT, like, because I used to really love NXT, and then I don't even know what happened. Like Johnny started doing weird shit, and Ciampa got injured, and a bunch of random shit started happening, and I was like, because I loved NXT because I was so invested in like the whole roster they had. Then we lost a lot of the women, we lost a lot of the cool tag teams like the Street Profits and that kind of thing. So
you're right though. Johnny and the Way is so fucking,
yeah, I don't really get it.
Just doesn't.
I liked his previous heel shtick better, honestly. But even though it didn't last very long. But I really loved NXT, and we'll see how it goes, because I know like the nice thing about NXT is that that's where all the fresh faces go when they come into WWE. Like there's a lot of potential there. And I feel like I could easily get invested in the new crop of talent that's popping up there, and especially with COVID, there's us seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. There's more potential than ever for some fresh new faces to come in and take over NXT. So hopefully that happens, and with Triple H at the helm of that, with what he's done so far, I have confidence that the new crop of talent, once they do come in, hopefully once we get a new crop, they'll do very well for themselves. So yeah, that'll be good.
I guess it all depends. Well, you all will probably see it happen via this podcast how invested we remain or don't remain in WWE and wrestling as in general, depending on if we talk about it more, if we bring it up more in future podcasts. We'll let you know. You will definitely hear it from us.
Yeah.
But for now, I reckon that's all we have to say on the topic, especially with WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver, and AEW as well.
Yeah.
Everything, it's looking good. It looks like this is going to be new, almost like in itself, a new era.
Yeah.
Because now that the COVID era is ending, the Wednesday Night War is ending, and like there's such interesting stuff happening with AEW mixing it up with Impact and New Japan, and with WWE being more versatile and on different nights, and finally getting their crowds back and hopefully their momentum back. Who knows? Things could either go up or down for us from here.
Yeah.
So it depends. Also, one thing I do want to say for WrestleMania, they brought back moving match cards.
Oh.
Where wrestlers actually like do the whole like, oh yeah, like do a little movement thing, get into a fighting position, and then it freeze frames on them. They brought back moving match cards. Fucking good idea, because that shit's cool.
Nice.
Completely irrelevant to everything we were just talking about, but I just saw that on Google. I'm like, oh yeah, that is cool. But yeah.
Shit.
The future of wrestling for us, we'll see what happens. But thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys listening to the podcast, and we've got another podcast episode coming out next week.
Oh boy.
Then I think the idea is we're gonna finish off the Skyward Sword and the Honey Pop Let's Plays.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably do episode 50, where we'll record ourselves. And from there, it's going to kind of be like a new, fresh start for us. Both Gus and I will start new Let's Plays. Yep. We'll hopefully get a few guests in for the podcast. And we'll see where things go from there. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Follow us on Twitter. At FireStorm Pod. Our individuals are TrentJM27 for myself, Silverstorm100 for Gus. Gus also has a personal account.
Don't follow it.
His dick jokes
unless you want to hear me talk about. Well, if you follow the podcast, you can follow it. I don't care. But because then you've already heard me talk about anime girls. So it's where I basically like my personal account is just Gus Writes Music. It's basically where everyone who like actually is interested in me as a person rather than me as a content creator can follow. So yeah, there you go. If for whatever reason you are interested in what I have to say, which you shouldn't be, but oh well.
If not that, check out his April Fool's song "Mega Evolution" was a mistake.
I'm very proud of that.
Was Poggers. He's very proud of that, and that was Poggers. So check that out. But and if you have any questions or suggestions for content, or if you want us to do like a Q&A style video, leave us a question in the comments down below. Send us an email at firestormproductions2@gmail.com. Or if you have any ideas for episodes or like wrestling topics or albums to review, anime to review, anything like that, email us, leave it in the comments, let us know, talk to us, and we will respond. There you go. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Have a
goodbye.